Yeah, I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
What can I do to grow more?
What can you do to what?
To grow more, to grow more.
First of all, have patience with yourself. Secondly, you know, growth is an organic process that takes place in a human being because they are willing to make the effort to do whatever they have to do to grow spiritually. And it means, if these classes really work for you, you attend the classes. Sitting down home works for you, you sit down at home and do your meditation, but you do whatever is essential for you to grow. And by doing that, you have to surrender very deeply inside yourself. You have to let go of all the resistance and ideas of who and what you are and how important you are in life and all this bullshit that goes around in people's heads, you know, and open and allow the higher force of energy in the universe to truly nurture you and grow. But that's what these meditation classes are for, to build a system inside which is strong enough to be able to let God come in. So you have to do, look, I grew in my life because I did not what I wanted to do. I did what I had to do to grow. I did what I needed to do to become a servant of God. And boy, was it a lot of breaking down of me because I had enormous resistance to this. My idea was, I work until you have enough money and then forget about it for 2 years, and just go traveling and doing Rudy's work was exactly the opposite. Getting rooted, supporting enormous situations. There's nothing that I really wanted to do, but I knew I had to do it because it was the only way I could break myself down. For the first 6 years of me practicing this meditation, I had Rudy who broke me down. And one day Rudy passed on. And I said to myself, Stuart, where are you going to meet another teacher like that? I said, you have to get big enough in yourself to let life break you down. And how do you get big enough inside yourself? By doing inner work, by using the meditation practice to overcome the blocks, the tensions, the resistances inside, these egotistical opinions you have of yourself and who and what you are in life. Ultimately, all amounts to nothing, Ultimately, what do? We wind up, it's like here lies Ozymandias, King of Kings, Shelley wrote that poem, extraordinary poem about Ozymandias who once conquered the world, and he's standing right over his grave, 6 foot. Here lies Ozymandias, King of Kings. So we have to learn how to truly touch upon the nothingness in ourselves, because opening to that nothingness allows God to flow through and allows us to ever assume that we are doing it. We are nothing more than a vessel through which that energy can flow. And the only way you become a vessel is by opening inside, developing the chakra system, breaking down your ego, your self-importance, who and what you think you are, and becoming a servant of God in this room. It's like I've said it many times, I'm sitting in a lecture that a Swami was giving, and he's talking about how the guru is God. The guru is God. You've got to worship the guru and you will get your enlightenment. And Rudy's sitting right behind me, whispering in my ear, the best the guru can be is the servant of God. Never forget that. He's the servant of God and the servant of his students. That's the best you can be. Now, that kind of humility goes a long way in the development of spiritual enlightenment. And I learned that right at that moment when he whispered that in my ear. It was amazing. So you've got to do what you got to do. in order to grow. I mean, I don't know. Each and every person is different. I don't know exactly what anybody is supposed to do. But if you listen, you will hear what you have to do. You will be reminded by cycles that end, by things that close, by new openings, new doorways that open. You will be reminded of what you had to do. I mean, last weekend, this whole week was a reminder, Stuart, you really got to get a lot stronger, because this is not going to get less, it's going to get more. I mean, it was so powerful. I didn't know if I was going to be able to even get out of bed some mornings. It was so strong. But it just reminded me that no matter how strong you become, it's Rudy's maxim, work brings more work, and it really does. So everything is a signal to what we have to do to grow. We have to be smart enough to listen. We have to be smart enough to allow these signals, these signposts from God to truly guide us. And then it's not just lip service, you got to do it. It's actively doing it in the world, which enables us to work out our karma. Not only work out our karma, but to become nothing inside. And nothing means you're one with everything, because then all that energy flows through and it guides your life. So what you have to do exactly, I can't tell you, but I can tell you that if you grow in yourself and you become more conscious and developed inside yourself, you will be given the signs of what you have to do by God.
Thank you.
I hope is that clear, Perrin?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I was given so many pointers in this last week. Like, man. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And then it comes down to something, look, it's stupid to have this idea of being a guru and a swami and it's anti-spiritual. If you have that, I want that position, that means that's what you want. It's not enlightenment. You want a position over other people. That's not enlightenment. But if one evolves into something like that, it's just a step on a ladder. It doesn't make you more important. It makes you less important than other people, because you supposedly have more consciousness, and that should provide more humility, a deeper sense of compassion and love for other people, for life. I mean, Rudy always told me less is more. How many times I heard that from him? Less is more. And what did he mean by that? The less there is of ego and self-importance and who you think you are, and what your position is in life. It's all just bullshit. One day we're all nothing anyway, So, I mean, it's just such a stupid drama that keeps people from ever being children of God. And what we want to work towards is being children of God, living with humility, living with love, living with compassion. Took me a long time to learn all this. It really did. But man, it took such a load off of me. You just discover, Stuart, you can be nothing. You don't have to be anything. You just grow every day and live your life and recognize the signs from God of what you got to do to continue the development of your consciousness. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, it's real freedom, you know. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, all of you are very important in my life, and for real reason, you know, coming and doing these Zoom classes, which I must admit are not my favorite way of teaching this. I really must admit that, but this is what God gave me. COVID and all this other stuff, and I have classes where people from 4 continents that attend them, you know, and I have to do it. But I would much rather assemble all of you in one place and do this meditation than do this over Zoom. But this is what the vehicle is right now. The venue is right now. So I can't complain. I just have to be grateful. I can sit here 7 times a week and just open my heart and thank people for attending, because it's doing an enormous amount to help me to grow. And I think it's doing an enormous amount to help other people to grow. And I think that is the most important thing. That's the real marriage. We're all here to get our spiritual enlightenment. And then there's Rudy, just watching over all of this, kind of shaking his head and say, Zoom? What the hell is Zoom? Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, well, God bless you all. Thank you. And once again, for the 50th time, thank you, all of you. Your presence here is my teacher. I need to break myself down. I need to grow. And your presence here is really helping me to do it. So God bless you all and thank you. And, you know, I hope that my presence is helping you do the same thing. So bless you all. Thank you. This incredible kind of family we have. And it's really wonderful. God bless everybody. And there'll be a class tomorrow evening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Good night, Stuart. Thank you.
Good night.
Good to be back.
Nice to see you, Kerry.